Everybody, welcome. Significant amount of technical difficulties today, so we are running about 15 minutes late. We're going to be talking today. We're going to do a couple of different things. We're going to be talking about what happened in. What does that sound? I love my favorite thing in the world is technical difficulties. I don't even know where that's coming from. I know, right? Here. Pause that. There we go. All right. Yeah, and Facebook is crashing out. I know, I can see it. Okay, it's starting to catch up now. Let me see what happens if I close these. See if that helps. No. All right, we're gonna just proceed, do the best we can with what we've got. Yesterday, I talked to you guys about the incredible situation that has developed. Everybody, unless you've been living under a rock, you must know about it. The situation with Ahmaud Arbery, I think I'm saying his name correctly. And I want to go ahead and just bring a panel of people and I'll introduce you to these guys here. We have Larry Altman in the top left. He's my Jew buddy. Larry, say, oh, you know what? You guys need to unmute. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you that. Let me see if I can just unmute everybody. Yeah, look, Brian, you're going to have to self-unmute. Larry, you have to self-unmute. There we go. I got Larry Altman, who is my half-Jew. Well, I'm the half-Jew. He's the full Jew. Brian Hinson's a buddy of mine. He brings the spice. Everett Gillis, a hero who's a military man. And, you know, I don't know much about you, Wayne. Tell me a little bit about your who you are and your history so we get to know you just a little bit. He's bottom right corner today.
Hello, everybody. Great to meet you. I am up in Minneapolis. We're still under heavy lockdown. If you've heard what's going on in Michigan, I think we're just right behind that in the whole lockdown world. I'm a software engineer as my main gig, and the photographer as a passion play, but I'm also kind of an activist in this whole open up Minnesota and open up the world.
Good for you, man. By the way, I apologize to everybody. This is why we're doing these pre-shows before we launch the actual show. We're working on all the technical difficulties. One of the things that I'm looking for right now and I'm hiring for, if somebody knows somebody in the Central Florida area, is a producer/engineer. We won't launch the full show until we actually get one of those. So that way I don't have to come on the show and say things to people like Wayne, like, hey, Wayne, tell me about yourself now at the very last second. We would have that prepared. So this is the part where we're working through here. So I apologize for that. Are you guys getting the video feed back to you?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Wayne's shaking no.
I'm just seeing the people.
Right. Oh, okay. Are you seeing me as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Then you're getting the video feed. You're good. All right. So, I asked Wayne to come in today. We're going to have a discussion about Minnesota here in just a few minutes. But as long as he was here, I said, you know what? Let's not just have you talk today about the whole Minnesota thing. Let's have you weigh in on the Arbery thing as well. I want to first go to Everett. Everett, I want to ask you. I'm just curious. Did you get a chance? The initial video that everybody's seen where Arbery got shot. Did you get a chance to actually watch that or not yet?
Yes, I did. I finally went. I had to search and find the one where it was actually showing everything on it, and I did get to see the video.
Okay, tell me, part of why you're here. I mean, the main reason I'm watching is because, like I said yesterday, I think you're a principled man that you care more about the truth than you do about just crazy passions. The other part is I want to have the perspective of someone that I trust from the Black community to give me their perspective. Sort of free of, and this is sort of how I trust where you come from, free of any of the hype, free of any of the Black Lives Matter. Not that you do or don't support Black Lives Matter. We're not making any comments there. That's your business if you want to discuss that. I'm not saying you're for them or against them. I'm just saying I want to hear from somebody that talks to me from the Black community in sort of a relatively dispassionate way. Not that I don't want you to have passion, but a relatively dispassionate way that's sticking with the facts. Does that lead you towards racism? Does that lead you away from racism? Where does it take you? That type of stuff. You had not seen the video as of yesterday that so many people, as most know, what happened is, these guys are sitting, not being arrested for almost 2 months. And then the video comes out and immediately they're arrested. You hadn't seen it yet. Give me some of your thoughts now that you've actually had a chance to sit and watch the video. What are you thinking?
Well, when I first saw him, when it showed when he was running up toward the truck, and I would just put myself in that person's shoes. If I saw someone with rifles or shotguns and they had a truck in the middle of the street trying to block me off, I would probably do what he tried to do, go off to one side. And then if they would either try to approach me or what have you, I myself, I would probably try to run away or duck and dodge and try to get away from someone with a shotgun or a rifle. But I don't know why he ran up toward the guy. I guess he thought he could probably take the firearm from him. I don't know that. But from what I saw, that after he did run up toward him, the gun went off. They fell back. They tried to grab again. His hand was shut off, but I don't know how he could have grabbed.
Right.
Got shot in the chest, and then he fell to the ground. From what I've seen and all the other information I had, I think these guys just went out to put a stop to whoever they thought was making robberies in the area. But the other situation comes up with there were no reported robberies. I just got another information that the owner of the property said that nothing was ever stolen at his home. He had never got any reports of anything being burglarized there. And he had no reports of anything being burglarized. And now that person is not moving into that home now because he said that he's getting death threats and his wife is afraid to even move in the area. So I don't know who the death threats are coming from, but from what I'm assuming that he's getting death threats from the people that live in that area because of some of the comments he's made in favor of Arbery and his family.
All right. I'm sorry, Julie. I had to ask Julie something there, so I lost the last 5 seconds of what you said, but I caught the majority there towards the beginning. The whole thing basically. So you did lean in the direction that basically at the end of the day, once you saw the video, your thought now and your feeling now is that these guys definitely went in the wrong direction.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they did. I think it would.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think it would have been better for them if they got a good description of the person. If they would have been there with the firearm, that's fine. If you're there with your firearm, I probably would have been there with my firearm myself. But I would have got a good description, and if the person would have kept running or going in an opposite direction, I would have just made sure to call it law enforcement to get them out there, give them a good description of who he was, what direction he went in, what have you. That's the only thing I would have done myself differently. But to me, it seems like because he's a former law enforcement, former investigator for the district attorney's office.
There's probably some favoritism for 2 months there. There was probably some favoritism where they weren't arresting the guys and whatever else. Let me go just out of curiosity because I'm going to go ahead and put you right on the spot, Wayne. What's your thought on this whole thing? Do you think there was racism here? Or do you think this was just these guys had a right in self-defense? Do you think who do you think the aggressor was? I guess is what I'm saying.
This will be horrible because I'm the guy who lives under the rock on this one. So I heard it come up from a friend. We were chatting about Candace Owens, and my friend mentioned that Candace is a bit inflammatory on this particular topic.
Candace being a conservative black woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm relatively ignorant. I'll just step back and watch what comes out in the justice.
No problem. Brian, you brought some video, and Larry, any new thoughts since yesterday? Or are you in the same place?
I'm pretty much in the same place. When I look at what happened on that video, my belief is that these guys did not need to even attempt to stop this guy. They had no proof it was him, and they should have let the authorities do it. When you're handling a firearm, you need to be real sure before you pull that trigger. And in my opinion, there was nothing threatening that Arbery did that would require him to be shot.
Yeah, I think so too. But here's the thing, guys. Let's be clear about one thing. At least this is my opinion. I'm not going to say anybody has to believe this as well. Here's where I'm at in terms of who's going to be the guilty party here. And I definitely want to take a look at this video that Brian has for us today as well. He brought a couple of very interesting things, and I want you guys to take a look. Here's the thing. I think everything falls into that one moment in the video where we don't see who the first person to cause the problem is. And I don't know if that was intentional on the part of the guy who was taking the video or not, because he catches Arbery running up to the car, but he does not catch the initial moment of engagement, and then starts catching most everything else that happens after that. He doesn't catch everything, but he catches most everything after that. And I personally believe whether this was their fault or Arbery's fault falls in that one moment, in that one set of frames that we don't see for about 3 seconds, I think it is, when Arbery first reaches the truck. Because if he goes up to that truck and aggresses them, unless, of course, they're pointing guns right at him, and then, he's got every right to aggress them because he's not the one causing the issue. But we don't see that. We don't know. It's completely out of frame when he first addresses them or when they first address him. And I think everything falls in that. And I got to tell you, I'm very concerned that as this thing goes to trial, that the the defense attorney is going to be able to hang his hat or her hat, whoever it is, on this idea that there is no proof about who the aggressor was, because everybody's going to want to focus on those moments after where they shoot him and they take him out. Just unbelievable moment caught on camera. Absolutely horrible moment. But the truth is that if Arbery came up to them and aggressed them without them doing anything, which I understand is very hard to believe, I'm not saying that's what happened, then they were within their rights to defend themselves to the point of making sure that they don't get killed, which means potential deadly force. But if he runs up around that truck, the part that we don't see, and they start it, I'm telling you, everything hangs in there. And I think if a prosecutor knows what they're doing, they could potentially try and hang it and say there's simply not enough evidence to show that these guys are the aggressors. And you have to prove that. You have to prove this isn't like the people's court. This isn't like your standard litigation court for civil lawsuits where it's preponderance of the evidence. It's like 50% or more are likely. And I could go with that if it was a 51 plus argument. But because we have that one moment, I'm telling you guys, everything hangs on that moment.
Sure.
And if Arbery, if they can't prove that these guys, because everything else after that, they're clearly the aggressors. There's no denying that. All the other evidence point to them being the aggressors. But the moment of engagement, was somebody going to say something? I thought I heard someone. The moment of engagement is missing from that video. And unless there's somebody with a camera off their house that maybe caught it, I think we're in for a very rough ride in this trial, and potentially these guys getting off the hook. I'm very concerned.
They're going to show it.
What's
even
that?
If they have the video, even if they have the video evidence, I don't think they're going to come forward. Seeing how Brian, the driver, was treated, and seeing how English, the owner of the house, has been treated. If there's any takeaway from this, it's if you're a witness, don't come forward, because all you're going to do is make yourself a target of the hate crime.
Tell me what's going on with the owner of the house. I know we already said it, but just let's remind everybody.
Now, the owner of the house, Mr. English, this house was his bucket list. He always wanted a house on waterfront property, and he was building this. Now his wife doesn't feel safe going there anymore, and they're getting death threats.
Yeah, you said that before.
Brian, he's living in his car. He can't live in his house anymore. So these people's lives are ruined. And now I still have a dash cam on my car. I'm still going to do it. And if I see some trouble, I'm going to turn it over to the police.
Yeah.
Right.
This is creating a very dangerous social precedent to just not come forward if you see a crime.
Yeah. Yep. I want to go back to Everett for just a moment. Brian, while I'm doing that, would you grab the first, don't put them all in the box just yet. Just put the first link in the video. The first video link in the box for our group chat that we have on Facebook. And then put the timing in there of where the moment is, and I'll get that ready. Everett, I'm curious. What's that?
I should be able to share with the timestamp. There we go.
That's fine. So that it's already set to the timestamp?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. So Everett, I want to go to you for just a moment and ask you, I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are in terms of, do you agree that, I mean, I have no argument against you or anybody else that clearly, and of course this is coming out live here. Clearly, everything that happened after it goes back into frame is clearly the McMichaels are the aggressors. Without question, without you're not going to get any argument out of me that every moment after, like he runs up to the truck, then there's some missing video, and then we see the aggression. Every moment of that second part of all the aggression is clearly the McMichaels. Not going to get an argument on that. But I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on the point that I'm making about the fact that it's all going to hang on that moment that's not on video. And like I said, I'm very concerned they're not going to be able to get a jury to go with them on this.
Yeah, I think that is going to be what turns the case here, which is why I think I've seen reports that the federal government is looking at civil rights violations in this situation. So if something does happen in state court, it's not favorable, they'll go with federal. They can still go with federal even after the state does find, if they do find them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and with federal civil rights violations. But I do think that you have a point where you're saying that those 2-3 seconds in there where they're not in frame.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. You don't know if he's trying to get around Travis. You don't know if he's trying to jump onto Travis. The only part you see is where the gun is in his hand, or the barrel is in his hand, and then his hand gets shot off. That's the only point you see there.
So tragic.
But,
so tragic.
Yeah.
Brian, could you do me one other favor? I forgot to look for this before the show. I didn't show it yesterday. I want to show it today. Could you poke around and see if you could find the video that we're all referencing so we can actually show it, and then Wayne can take a look too.
The full video?
Yeah. Because it's, what is it, 30 seconds long, a minute long? It's not real long.
Right. The WSAV3 clip that I sent you does show him running up to the vehicle from a distance, and then it shows the front part, but it's only like 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Let me actually roll back to that then. They've
truncated it quite a bit.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a look at some video from is it SAV3? Let's take a look. Tell me, can you guys see this on your end now, the video I'm about to play?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. I think the sound is going to come through, so we'll hear a reporter, but if it doesn't, it doesn't really matter. Can you guys hear the sound?
Stopped while running by Travis and Greg McMichael,
No.
where he was killed. News for Jack's I-Team reporter Kelly Wiley learned of other videos showing Ahmaud
And there's
Arbery
that one moment
on
where we don't see what's
Thursday
going
from
on.
the same attorney who released
Can you guys
the
hear it
video
now?
of the shooting. She tracked down the property owner to get the clip.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Hold on 1 sec. This is a part of that whole pre-show type thing where I'm trying to figure, why would that not? Oh, let me see if, okay, so zoom back to you guys. The computer's coming out on the USB audio codec. This is so fun doing live stuff like this. Is great. Seriously. Let me try one other thing. If not, then we won't worry about the audio. I just want to see if it's possible for you guys to be able to hear it. Let me try going this way. Tell me if you guys can hear it now.
Try to figure out how to get in touch with the property owner and if there
Yes.
really were these
All right.
surveillance videos.
All right, let me go
showing him
back
at that
then.
construction.
After this, around and then walks out. Shortly
Let me
after
actually-
this,
you know what?
Arbery
I'm
was
just going to go
stopped
back
while
to the beginning. So
This
this is him prior to the video where he walks up and gets shot.
video that some
He's
believe
walking in this
shows
house.
Ahmaud Arbery walking into a home under construction. We only have a few seconds of it. He looks
Some
around
walking
and then
few.
walks out.
A few minutes of
Shortly
walking
after
around.
this, Arbery was
Okay, this
stopped
is the
while
part where he
running by
runs up to the
Travis and
truck.
Greg McMichael,
You can
where
see
he
him
was
get into the
killed.
truck there.
News for Jack's I-Team
And then
reporter
then it
Kelly
goes off.
Wiley.
Now, the part that you didn't see just now is it goes completely off camera. They cut out the part where it's off camera, and that's fine. And then you see here he runs up to the truck. I'll rewind it back just a little teeny hair
For
here.
Jack's I-Team
They
reporter
cut out that
Kelly
part, but
Wiley
look, he
learned
goes to
of
the truck,
other videos showing Ahmaud
but we
Arbery
don't see the
on
part before
Thursday
that. We don't
from
see
the
what
same
happens.
attorney who released the video
I really
of
want
the
to find that
shooting.
other video so we can see the
She
whole
tracked
thing.
down the property
That
owner
could
to
have
get the
been
clip.
minutes.
Research
Right,
to figure
exactly. Do you know how to? Can you find it or? Okay, I'm gonna have Julie take a look for it, see if she can find it. We'll come back to that video in just a moment. Let me get past this part here. This is some more video.
And the owner tracked down numerous videos
were these surveillance videos showing him at that construction property.
All right, so he's been at the construction property more than once.
And the owner tracked down
Allegedly,
numerous videos.
ABC News has reached out to the Arbery family, and they say that it's not their son. So,
Really?
without the presumption of innocence, our justice system is doomed.
Right?
So,
No, I got you. I thought it had been confirmed. I'm glad you said that. Thank you. All right, so it's presumed, and they're denying that it's him. The problem is, like, are they denying even this one, Brian, right here?
They have confirmed that that is Arbery.
Okay, but they're saying the latter video is not. I was because clearly Arbery in this video. It's just it's like what, a few minutes prior. It's the same pants, the same shirt, the same hair, and everything, right? So if they were denying that one, I would say the family are being dishonest brokers. As much as my heart breaks for them, you can't lie. But clearly, if they've admitted that's him, that they're not lying. The question then becomes, who is this guy? And they're saying this is not him. But it looks like him to me, with the hair and everything. Does he look bigger to you?
Hair looks bigger, or maybe.
Oh, the hair is a little bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, this was back in October.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it could. Okay, then I thought it was a similar time frame. You're right. So it could be bigger hair. He could have had a haircut since then, and
Sure.
I was just going on the hair. So because I thought it was more recent. So then no, I don't know if it's him or not.
And the owner tracked down numerous videos of what all appear
But this
to be
is
the
one of
same
those
man
cases
walking
where,
through this home
all
as
right,
far
so your
back
bike is stolen or someone's in your backyard. Are you really going to file a police report over that? They're just going to say, okay, your bike's gone.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll keep an eye out. There's really a disincentive to go through the trouble of creating a police report every time your Ring doorbell goes off.
Yeah. No, it's right. And the point that you're making, just so people don't miss it, the point that you're making, if I'm understanding it correctly, is there's this thing like, well, the McMichaels made the claim that there's been all these police reports about people breaking in, walking around, stealing stuff, whatever else, but there's actually not a bunch of police reports. That wasn't true. And then your point is, well, why would they? You know, people do this kind of crap all the time. It's a waste of time. You're never going to see your stuff again, so people avoid it. But the underlying issue, okay, it looks like Julie's got the video for us. The underlying issue is not whether or not there was a police report, but whether or not they lied about whether there was a police report. And that's really the issue. They were trying to justify the killing by saying, and unfortunately for them, it doesn't justify it. All right, she's got the video here. Hold on one second. Let me copy this link, and let's put it in here. Anyway, for just very quickly, I want to make sure I make this statement. This is on the Telegraph. I just want to make sure I make this, and here comes the video. I'll show it to you in just a moment. I want to make sure I make this statement. Let's assume, and I said this yesterday, let's assume for just a moment that absolutely everything is true in the negative about Arbery. That he was stealing stuff and whatever. I'm not saying this stuff is true, but even if we assume
Still shouldn't have died.
He still shouldn't have died.
Right.
Still shouldn't have died.
Vigilante justice is not a good idea for society.
I mean, and you know, I wonder if let's assume for a moment that McMichaels are the aggressors, as it appears to be in the latter part of the video. It then becomes almost like they're baiting him. Like what's that when a cop? Entrapment. Yes, thank you. It's almost like they're entrapping him. I mean, what do you think if he were a criminal? I'm not saying he is, but if he were a criminal, of course, if you're somewhere near him and walking around with guns, he feels like he's going to get caught. He's going to be like a trapped animal. Is how he's going to feel. All right, so here's the video. This guy drives up, which, by the way, we said this yesterday. Wayne, I know you probably don't know this yet, so let me just say it again. The person who released this video, and he's not the guy who shot it, right, guys? It's just the guy who released it. He is the guy who shot it too, or just the guy who released it?
No.
Just released it.
The person who released it is the attorney. The person who recorded it is last name Brian. He's the guy who's living in his car because he doesn't feel safe living in his house anymore.
Oh, this is the neighbor who recorded it.
No, this is yeah. He has also been fired from his job. So yeah, his life's just completely.
Oh wait, is this a guy that lives in the neighborhood that shot this?
Yes, this is Brian.
Okay, so this guy shoots it from the neighborhood, and somehow ends up in the hands of the McMichaels attorney, and they don't release this video for 2 months. The attorney, Wayne, released this thinking it would be exculpatory, thinking that it would help their case, and they were arrested within 24 hours. Okay, here's the video. You can see over here on the right side, there's Arbery coming up to the truck. He's on the left side, and then he cuts over to the right side, but we lose it right there. We don't see what happens. Here, let me go back one more time. Hold on one second. He comes up over here on this side over here. See that? And look, he's if I'm getting my guess right, he's aiming at him right here, isn't he? Yeah. Because that's where the Julie's saying you don't know what he's saying to him to get him to charge at him.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he could be goading him in and saying you N-word and all these other things, and then he gets mad and comes over, looks like he's the aggressor, and the other guy gets to shoot him. So, but that moment off camera is so important. So, like, we don't see any. Okay, what happened right before then?
Well, again, it's all speculation, but the way it looks to me is that perhaps they were accusing him of something. They were calling him names. He decided, hey, wait a minute, I'm not going to take this. And he said, okay, fine. I'm going to go ahead and run up to the truck and tell him, hey, it's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. And then they're threatening him with guns.
Yeah.
So I think that's, and again, it's all speculation, but that's the way it looks to me.
Yeah. I want to go back to the video one more time. Hold on one second. Let me come back to the video here. Just a moment here. Okay. So let me just do this one more time. And Wayne, you chime in if you've got some thoughts, okay? You just poke in if you think of something you want to say. You do or don't?
No, I am not shy. I'll chime in when it's time.
Okay. So you go off camera. He's clearly running towards them, which means they haven't physically aggressed him yet. Oh wait, what's happening right there? See, this is what I want to know. Is what?
I think he's taking up a shooting position on the other side of the car.
Right? Okay, so let's just step by step. Now he's clearly coming at the dad. That's the son up on the top of the truck. What's the dad doing right there? Is he running at him? No, he's going backwards. See that? So there is a, I don't know. Everett, any thoughts?
I'll be speculating just like Larry said.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened in those frames that are not there.
Right.
All we see is him going on the right side of the truck. It looks like one of McMichael's is approaching towards that side of the truck. Then it looked like he's backing up away from the truck. A shot is fired before that time. Then it goes off camera again, and it comes back in, and that's when his hand gets shot. And then the third time the shot happens is when he gets hit in the chest.
Okay.
And he falls down. So I would be speculating just like anyone else. I really don't know what could have happened in that instance.
Okay, so Neo Epicurean on YouTube is saying Greg McMichael is on the phone. Look at him. He's got a phone to his ear. There's no gun out. Watch him scramble now. So he's saying he's on the phone. Let's see. Can I enlarge this? Yeah, it won't let me. Shoot. I wish it would let me do an enlarge. You know what? I know how I can enlarge this for you guys. Hold on one second. Let me.
Now, as if this story wasn't already complicated enough, some information that I learned earlier today was that this house that Arbery was in is 10 miles away from where he lives. So I understand that a lot of people, when you go jogging, you just do it around your house. But this could be presumption of innocence. He going to a neighborhood where it is more favorable to run. So I don't want to assume any malicious intent in here, but it is a factoid that's going around.
Do you think that being 10 miles from home works in Arbery's favor or the McMichael's favor?
McMichael's, unfortunately.
Okay, and so we have who's that on YouTube?
Because I don't know where Arbery lives.
Neo Epicurean saying it's only
place to run.
Okay, how sure are you of that fact? Because Neo Epicurean is saying on YouTube that it's 1.9 miles.
1.9.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to check that out. All right,
I got this from Tim Poole. He's an investigative journalist who's covered this quite a bit.
Okay. All right, I was able to.
It's definitely worth researching.
Yeah, let's find out that for sure. Let's go back one more time. Now that I was able to kind of zoom in, can you guys see it a little better now?
Yeah.
All right, let me do this one more time. Kind of pause and go. So he clearly takes. So the question is, why did he take a sharp left in front of the truck directly towards the dad? That's the question we have to find out. Everything hangs on that. The other thing is he's already shooting him before he even gets to his dad, which is completely justified if Arbery's the aggressor. Anybody disagree?
No.
No,
You know, I asked Julie if she wanted a microphone. She said no, but she keeps talking. Hold on one second, Julie. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Everett, was that you? Who was that was talking?
Larry said something.
Oh, Larry, go ahead.
Said no, and I said I'm not sure about that. I don't think so.
Okay, so let me ask you, if just so I understand, and I'm not saying this is what happened. This is total speculation. If let's put a couple of people in some positions here. Let's say you're the one up on the top of the truck, Everett.
Yes.
On the left side, the dad. Let's replace that with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're on the truck with a gun. Your wife's down there, and who cares whatever kind of kid, black, white, whatever, an aggressive. And I'm not saying this is what Arbery did. This is just a hypothetical. Came running on the truck. Are you shooting the guy if he's coming at your wife like that? It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough one. But who shot first? Was it the guy on the ground or the guy on top of the truck?
I don't think there was any shots from the ground. Or was there? Am I missing it? Am I remember?
All three were from the ground, from my understanding.
No, you can see right there. They're coming from the back of the truck, not the ground. The guy shoots on the truck, right? Or am I wrong about that? Hold on, let me look. Hold on. It's not the guy on the truck that fired.
No, the guy on the truck.
No, it sounds like to me like the shotgun went off when he made that turn to the left, and then whoever was on the ground, Michael on the ground, started going backwards, and that's when he grabbed the gun. Then another shot went off from the shotgun.
Look, oh yeah.
That's the second shot.
Yeah, it was the ground, wasn't it?
When he got hit in the chest.
This whole time, I thought that first shot came from the top of the truck.
No.
Yep. Now, Larry, as a gun owner, you understand that whenever you're in danger, you don't go looking for trouble with your gun.
No.
That just puts you in a bad position. If someone's breaking into your house, you don't go looking for them. You shelter in place and wait for the police to arrive. That's just what you learn in the NRA.
Okay. I want to.
They're not in their house.
Unless you feel
Exactly.
Unless you feel that in fact your life is in danger or the life of somebody else, then you go ahead and you shoot to kill. My concern with this is whether or not when Arbery approached the shotgun, whether or not he was doing it because he thought they were threatening him. That's what they were going to do anyway. So even if he's innocent or guilty, whatever the case may be, he probably thought his life was in danger. He wasn't armed, and he had to go ahead and do something one way or the other. And he thought if he ran away, I would think he was going to get his head blown off.
Yeah.
So he may have just taken an action that he thought would perhaps save his life.
Yeah, give him a better chance of give him an upper hand.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that theory too. Absolutely, I could absolutely see that theory. I mean, it's exact. I was actually thinking that yesterday. I don't know if I verbalized that yesterday. I was thinking that yesterday. Like, what would I do? You know, you got a guy on the left with a gun. Do I run at him? I don't know. I think the internal instinct is to run away from a gun, though.
Yeah, and that's why I said yesterday, if it wasn't for the civilian arrest laws, this whole entire situation would be cut and dry and probably wouldn't have happened.
All right. Real quick, can I get Neo Epicurean to call in? Because he says a lot, and he's got some really good points. The number is 833-TRUTH-33. Can you call in, Neo? We're only doing this conversation for a few more minutes, and we're moving on to what's going on in Minnesota. Brian, let's do maybe one more quick video. Did you have another one?
Everything was
pretty much in that
summed
one.
up in this one that I sent you.
Okay. All right. Good.
Oh, never mind. There's one that shows him outside of the building.
It's same idea though, right? It's not really damning by any means, right?
It just shows him. Let me paste it in the chat now.
It's about 7 minutes long.
It shows him walking up to the property and then going into the property, spending time in there, and then sprinting out.
What do you say? I'm an academic. Oh, Neo Epicurean wants to do it with text. He says he's an academic. He doesn't want to get involved. All right, well, keep watching the show, man. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I enjoy you participating because you're help keeping us straight on some of this stuff. Okay, so with that being said, is there anything in that video that's kind of new, Brian, or is it just kind of the same stuff? Anything?
None of it's new, but it's nothing that we've shown on the show yet.
Well, no, I get that, but what I'm asking you, is there anything that we see it and we go, oh, well, that's going to maybe change some minds?
It shows him walking when he was supposed to be when the claim is that he was on a jog, and then it shows him fleeing when he was supposed to be on a jog.
Let's take a quick look. We'll take a quick
Everett,
look at
I know
it.
that you said that sometimes you like to go to construction sites, or you did, and I completely understand that. If you're going to look for a job and you see a construction site, hey, that's a good place to get a job. But he didn't ask for a job. He ran. And looking at the video of him inside the house, he wasn't looking up for people. He was looking down at things that he could take.
Julie keeps talking and she won't say. Can talk, Julie? Can you?
Everett.
Gotta get right on the mic.
Everett was actually saying that he was going to look at houses, like how they were built or the design, or
If I did not say that, then I apologize.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine. You probably didn't hear
That's
exactly
okay.
what I was saying, but that's what I was saying the other day. My wife and I would go to construction sites or new developments, and we would check out different houses. We would the people there would tell us you can go walk through and see what designs you like yourself. And we would go in, and there would be some things locked in there, locked boxes, what have you, locked toolboxes. I wasn't there to steal anything, but then we would just come on out and drive off, and never had a problem with it. I wouldn't do it in the area in Brunswick, Georgia, because I've been to Brunswick, Georgia, like I said before. I live in Brunswick, grew up in Brunswick, Virginia, and that's a sister county to my county in Virginia. And I went there one time, and it's nothing like Brunswick, Virginia. It's a little bit more, somebody like me is not welcome in certain parts of that county. So I would not be going through construction sites down there myself.
Right. Do you think he was up to no good? What do you think?
I can't say. I don't know, because he didn't leave out with anything. And if that was him back in the days in October, there's no evidence of him taking anything out of those places, even though
I agree.
it may have been him or anything like that.
And I got to tell you, I grew up around construction sites. It's kind of cool to walk in and see stuff, and then you maybe in a couple days later on a run, 3 days later, you go back in, you see the progress. That could all have been all he was doing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We don't know. All we do know is he was running down the street and came up upon these guys in pickup and got shot. We do know that.
Let me see this. What's his Knife Teeth? That's his name on YouTube. He said he was a scholar and a gentleman, architecture buff dude. He went there all the time, and then said he was just walking around. All right, so all right, I want to go ahead and switch gears now, guys. I appreciate it. Hey, listen, Larry and Brian and Everett, you guys want to stick around for the lockdown discussion? It's not going to be too long, I don't think, or do you guys need to take off?
I want to hear
I'm
this.
free.
I wanna hear this.
Probably should ask you one at a time.
Stick around.
Everett, can you stay, or do you got to run?
I can stay.
Larry?
You're not getting rid of me that easy.
Right, the Jew. You can't get rid of Jews.
I'm
that
not
easy.
running away from an internet argument.
Right.
You know me.
Right, exactly. All right, let me move now to kind of put the spotlight on Wayne and talk about stuff that he does know about that I didn't sandbag him with. I apologize again, Wayne. So talk to me about, you're on the ground there in Minnesota. I'm sorry, Minnesota. How do you say it?
Minnesota. Yeah, sure.
Lutefish.
Oh, he puts his mask on. Nice.
Larry. Brian
we
is.
aren't gonna take it.
Look at Brian's mask.
No.
So,
I'm selling masks of my art, but I don't wear a mask anywhere. And my family was over yesterday, and none of their spouses came because I freak them out. I scare them to death.
what is on your masks, man? You're like aborted babies? Like, what are you doing?
No. It's just like these pictures in the background, just pretty art. I scare them because I don't wear a mask.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry, I missed that.
It's okay, neither do we.
They think they're going to, I'm going to kill everyone around
Wayne,
me.
you're an evil, evil man, and you don't care about your fellow man, and you're not worried about your sisters and brothers that could get affected by your germs.
I am so selfish.
It's okay. I lick doorknobs.
Let me just tell you what Julie does not do. She is the biggest. I'm sorry I don't have a camera. She told me the whole time, I don't want to be on the mic and I don't want a camera on me. Right? And the whole time she's like, poke, 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 say this. Poke, 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 say that. So I put her on the mic, but I don't have time to throw a camera on her. I apologize, everybody. We'll do that next time. I'll make sure she's on camera. What?
Too
What?
funny.
I'm just waving.
there's
Oh,
a
she's
hand
waving.
there.
Okay, yeah.
Is that her hand?
Show your nails, Julie. She had just had her nails done.
Is
My-
this,
my
is
daughter
this
did
a
my nails.
coworker or is this
Here,
your
come
wife
get in
or
the shots so
what?
people can at least see what you look like. Come on. That's my fiance. All right. So now everybody knows what Julie looks like. All right. So here's the thing. First of all, Wayne, I want to kind of find out from you, what is it like in Minnesota right now? Like, do you, more specifically, and you can say anything you want to say and talk about what you want, but first I want to ask you, I know there's the big uproar is Michigan. Is there as big of an uproar in Minnesota? And does it feel to you, if you get outside of, because we all have our own echo chambers, it's, everybody's got their echo chamber. Do you feel like outside of your personal echo chamber that most people agree in Minnesota to end the lockdown, or do you think there's still a whole bunch of people that are like, no, we got to keep it? What's your thoughts?
Minnesota is a leftist state.
Oh yeah, they're
Minnesota
all
has
lock us
been
down,
taught-
lock us down.
Minnesotans have been taught to fear. They love fear, and they've been kowtowed by the fear mongers, whether it's the newspaper or the experts of any kind. So Minnesotans are Scandinavian and they're rule followers. They love to do whatever the experts tell them to do.
Unbelievable.
So, I am not that. So in my echo chamber, I hear screams all the time. I'm getting in trouble. I'm constantly in trouble.
What are you doing? What are you doing to get in trouble?
Right. People around me, it's, why are you so incredibly selfish? And so let me tell the bigger story.
Good.
I'm a software engineer. My wife is a software person. We're both employed, and we're employed at home. And frankly, being we're not driving anywhere, and life expenses went down, we're thriving during this lockdown.
Right. Me too.
And as a relative introvert, I love working from home. I don't have to deal with all the other. crazy
You've been
people,
preparing for this your whole life.
Yeah.
You and Brian, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell.
But me too, honestly.
But it's crazy. So everyone, as I raise questions, I'm a Dennis Prager disciple.
Yeah, I love Prager. He's good. He's good.
So I'm on board with just about, we're simpatico. And he was early asking the questions, oh my gosh, is the cure going to be worse than the disease?
Right.
And I jumped on that concept of what the heck are we doing with the shutdown?
Right. And by the way,
Shutdown.
Patrick Thompson on YouTube agrees with you. Says, I say both. Let the healthy people go back to work, and if you're not comfortable, then fine, stay home.
Correct. But in Minnesota, almost no one can understand that.
Yeah.
It's purely you're selfish.
You don't make the
So-
rules, the government does.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's conceptually, government is God. Governments and the experts are priests of wisdom.
Right.
So we listen to them, and those scientists,
Right.
Because they know best.
Right.
they know.
And
best.
nobody disagrees with those scientists. By the way, Patrick Thompson, shout out to you. Is a good buddy of mine for the last 25 years or so.
Patrick.
So let me ask you, what do you think in terms of, should people be just ignoring the order and doing what they want? Like what action do you think, those of you who support the direction that you have taken, what action do you think you guys should take at this point? Do you think that you guys should?
They should. Well, the first little revolt is don't wear a face mask.
Right.
The second revolt is, yes, open up your business and force them to arrest you, or force them to come and shut you down, or whatever.
Do you know how disappointed I was, Wayne, that I was in an essential business? I kid you not, man. I mean, I'm glad that I'm not going to be arrested, but at the same time, I would have happily went to jail. If I had a barbershop or a hairstylist place or barbershop, I'd have been open a long time ago, man. I'd have been the first one on the news 4 weeks ago. You ain't shutting my butt down.
I must say I'm excited that liquor stores have been an essential business. That's been a help in all of this.
You know, one of the theories that Glenn Beck has had for quite some time, and I don't really listen to Glenn anymore because he annoys me at this point. I don't think he lives his principles anymore. But one of the things that he said years ago, when he was researching how governments sort of mind numb people, is that they will etch away, of course, at all their rights, take everything away, get them to where they basically become these automatons that do whatever they say, and then allow them to have things like any drugs they want, any things
Sure.
that make them happy, so that way they're just sort of self-medicating, like literally, like they'll just sort of open up the. So you see with this lockdown like a mini version of that, man, where you can't have anything that you actually need, but you can totally go get drunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm not against alcohol. I'm just saying it's
En-
interesting.
Entertaining Ourselves to Death. Who wrote that book?
I haven't heard of that
Okay.
one. You caught me off guard with that. Who is that?
Brian, research guy, look that up quick.
What do you want me to look up?
Or Julie can do it too.
Entertaining Ourselves to Death, I think, a book. Who wrote that?
Oh no, I'm actually looking up the
Julie's figuring it out. Go ahead,
court. I'm looking up the opinion or what the judge said when he put Shelley Luther in jail.
Neil Postman.
What he actually said was just, I'm just trying to find the exact words.
It was so powerful. It was so powerful.
No,
I
it's so
can't remember it.
infuriating.
Either way, it's so infuriating. I don't remember what he said. It doesn't make any sense. Julie
One
found the name of
moment.
the guy. What is it?
Neil Postman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hadn't heard of that book. It sounds like a good one I'm going to read. Yeah, so here's where I'm at. I don't know where you guys stand. I absolutely, positively, I'm not wearing a mask. I have a few people on my Facebook that I love, and I think they're great. I'm not going to name any names, that are high up in the movement.
Their
That are
initials are Jim Smith.
right. Yeah. Their name starts with a J and ends with an Enifer. No, I'm kidding. That's not it. But that are high up in that. If you know me at all, you know I'm not a Trump guy, right? I'm a conservative. I'm okay if you are. Everett, I saw you start wearing the Trump hat, but I still love you. I still respect you. But I'm not a Trump guy. And there's a particular woman that's high up in this sort of never Trump movement, and she is a face mask Nazi. I was so unprepared. She has her, and I still love her. I think she's great. And if she's watching, which I doubt she is, but if she is, I love you, dear. I don't
Does she have a sick family member close to her?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Meaning, a parent or someone that's compromised.
Oh,
I noticed that makes people extra sensitive.
Right. And but the problem is that you've got to like if you look what like actual scientists are saying about germs and the actual death rate and the fact that the government is inflating these numbers, like for instance, a good buddy of mine I've known for over 35 years.
Don't confuse me with facts.
Right. Yeah. A good buddy of mine that lives up in Virginia, not too far from you, Everett, actually lives up in Northern Virginia. A good buddy of mine that lives up in Virginia went and got tested for the antibodies. And he was positive, and they added his number to the list of people that test positive that day for COVID as if it was a new infection. The numbers are so ridiculous. They're utterly ridiculous. We don't know how many people are actually infected, yet we say that, listen, if the death rate is 1 million, is that good or bad? We don't know. You don't know. It doesn't matter until you know the infection rate. If 1 million people out of
we don't want truth.
Right. I don't care about truth. If 1 million people are infected and 1 million die, we have a problem. If 1 million people die out of the entire world, it's tragic, but it's not something you shut the world down for. And we don't know that until we know the actual numbers. So when people talk to me, oh, the death rate, nobody on planet Earth knows the death rate. Because we don't have an infection rate. You cannot. It's not possible. It's like saying, what percentage of my banana, what is 20% of my bananas? Well, how many bananas are there? I don't know. Okay, well, I can't give you what 20% is there. 20% of what?
A year from now, they'll be able to do a research project and get a close estimate of what the actual numbers are.
Right, which, by the way, will be similar to the flu. I almost guarantee you, man.
Of course.
And then you got this is not the flu Nazis. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not going to do it. I don't buy the. Now, do I think it's a real? Do I think the whole thing is a hoax? No. I think it's legitimately something that came upon us, whether it was through a lab or a bat, like some guy named Batman in China did this. I don't know. But the point, yes, do I think the virus is real and that there was a certain amount of time there where we need to take some serious precautions to figure? Yes. But then ready? I got one word for you. Ready? Sweden. I mean, seriously, you got Sweden doing nothing and they're fine.
Stop. So I have a friend who lives in Helsinki, Finland.
Okay.
She is a Swede of the Finn Swede side. And she has lived in Sweden. So she smacks me every time she listens to Trump every day as he was doing his news reports. So it's really funny. She's lived in Canada, so they're very connected to America and they love America. But she says, Sweden's a complete mess. Don't pay attention to any of the numbers or any of the information you hear out of Sweden. So don't use them as the hero case. And it's true, they're relatively opened up, and their death isn't as bad as Britain or Belgium, I believe. So, but they're still a wreck.
No, I don't buy that, man. I just don't, man.
No, they're a wreck from a political perspective.
Well, maybe, but I'm talking about whether or not there's like this, ravaging death angel walking around the country because they didn't put blood on posts on their doors.
Their numbers are just a little bit worse than Britain.
So. Yeah, and they said they're reaching herd immunity this month. All right, so guys, I appreciate you joining me tonight. Thank you so much, Everett. By the way, I didn't even go to Everett or Larry on this, man. What do you? Very quickly, and I want to end right after this. Tell me, you guys. I'm gonna start with you, Everett. Where are you at on the whole thing, man? Do you think we should be wearing masks? Do you think people who that own businesses, should they defy and open their business and risk arrest, or do you think that they should stay closed and follow the order?
I think people should be able to open their businesses, and anyone who wants to go there can go there. Anyone who wants to stay home should stay home. I wear a mask out when I go to a large gathering.
That's different. You're different. You're different.
Because, I'm compromised, so
yes.
That's why I wear my mask.
Right.
But in this whole thing, I've done just about the same thing I've always been doing. I go to shop where I shop at, and I still go to work. And I go outside and things like that. So it's really, I don't see what the lockdown is for now.
This coming from a guy who needs a kidney transplant and a heart transplant.
It's to control us.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are getting comfortable with being socialized or in letting the government tell them exactly what to do. And that's not good at all.
I get feedback from many people that have been laid off, and they're saying comments like, well, that extra $600 check, that is great. I'm excited about it. And it really is corrupting. It's incredibly corrupting. They're not going to want to go back to work. So that's...
And let me just make everybody hate me on both sides of the aisle, because we talked about liberals. Let me go to Republicans now. The sheer quantity of Republican sellouts to socialism because of the money has been astounding. Yeah, sure. It's astounding. Everett, should I be wearing a mask? You're one of the few people I'll listen to on that.
If you want to wear one, you can wear one.
I don't want to wear one. I'm asking you from an immunocompromised guy.
No, I don't think you should have to wear one if you don't want to wear one.
Appreciate that.
You don't have to wear one.
I would take it under serious advisement if you felt I did. But other than that, I'm not listening to Dr. Death himself. Larry, let me run to you real quick, and then one more ping off of Brian, and then we're going to take off. Larry, what do you think, man? Should business owners open their business, or should they and defy, or should they wait for the government to tell them it's okay?
This is real easy. I'm 69. I'm fat. I'm diabetic. I still go work at the local radio station. I still show apartments as a property manager. Quick example, I go to show an apartment. Lady insists that I wear a mask. Okay, I have one in my back pocket. I put it on. She puts it on. And then she puts out her hand to shake. I mean, look.
Not the brightest bulb on the tree.
Yeah. Constitution says it all. Everybody has the right to open their business. Everybody has the right to not wear a mask. End of story.
Brian, since Larry is obviously senile. No, I'm kidding. Brian, what do you think, man? Should business owners defy, or should they wait for the government to tell them it's okay?
Elon Musk is defying.
Yeah. Yeah,
I completely 100% support it.
Did you guys?
One of the hotels that we work with, their expected income for last month was $4 million. That's what they projected. It came in under 700,000.
Wow.
Let me wait before you continue. Let me you made a reference to Musk. For those that are watching that may not have heard, Elon Musk, who runs Tesla and many other companies, announced that he's tired of the Nazi-like tactics of California. Yep. And that's where his plant is based. And he said, guys, you're going to open or I'm moving my plant. And there was a bunch of business insiders like at Forbes and other places. Okay, this is nice rhetoric, but there's no way he can do it. And just yesterday, he's like, we're doing it. He put it on Twitter. We're done. We're moving to Texas. We'll see if he really does it. I'm starting to think he's gonna. So
He had plants in 2 counties. One of them was open, the other one was not, and that's the county that he's suing, being like, "What are you doing? This is against all logic.
Yeah,
We're opening up anyway."
Absolutely. All right, let me close with this guy.
One more little point.
Good, Wayne.
Where are the pastors complaining about their churches being shut
Oh
down?
my God! Wait till you see the show I do on that one. Wait till you see the show I do on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's coming, man. I'd love to. Does anybody know in the Orlando area a good audio engineer or radio show podcast producer? Because I can train on the other half. If you have one of those halves, I can train you on the other half. I just don't you have at least
Relevant
half.
Radio is out of or Relevant Podcast, whatever. They're out of that area, aren't they?
Who's relevant? Is that?
They're part of a Christian magazine.
I know. I went to summer camp with the guy that runs that. I know.
So grab some of his people. Come on.
That's what I need. Bad blood from him. Patrick said this on YouTube. Patrick Thompson said this, and Patrick, if I'm not mistaken, is immunocompromised. I wear a mask when I take Dad to the dialysis. They provide it, but otherwise, no. I wear glasses, and I'm very claustrophobic, nearly impossible to be comfortable. I'm a follower of Ramsey. I didn't meet the 1200, so we bought more guns and a ton of ammo. Guys, thanks for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate you coming on. It's been fantastic. We have with us, it is Wayne Moran in the bottom right, Brian Hinson top right, Larry Altman, the Jew, on the top left. I'm the half Jew in the bottom middle, and we have. Would it aggravate you if I called you our token black guy?
No.
Because you're not really that, but just for fun, just the same way I call him the Jew. All right, we got the token black guy, the Jew, the half Jew.
Thanks, everyone.
The angry YouTuber, that would be Brian Wayne. We need a caustic nickname for you.
Piece of spice.
For me?
No.
I thought I was the fat old white guy.
Fat old white guy. All right, we'll go with that. FOWG. The Faug? That's not right. All right, guys.
I'm here to argue.
We'll call him the fog.
The fog. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate you. Hey, listen, everybody that's watching via YouTube, if you're watching on your phone and it's turned this way, if it's turned this way, I want you to turn it straight up. See the red subscribe button, hit it till it turns gray. Please make sure you're subscribed. Please like the video and share it if you're on Facebook. Please comment. Love you guys. Appreciate you very much. We'll see you soon. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, everyone.